this wiring was exposed, because if it was buried under stuff, probably would not have noticed until it was too late. One of the other projects I'm working on here, besides the water tank, is the UK power inverter, which is right here. And I installed it originally with the cables that it came with. Got obviously the positive one there, and it came with 2 of each. But I tied 2 of the negative ones together. And when I was running the electric burner, it was pulling 1500 watts. The electrical tape I had over this was smoking, and both wires were hot. So these wires are obviously undersized for the current. So Nick, One Life Busset, I'll show you his bus in a minute. He had some extra cabling here, so I'm going to replace it with this stuff, which should be sufficient. So I'm going to make up these lengths first, and then pull out the old ones and replace it. So I have my little electrical box of goodies. I've got a variety of crimp ends. Not sure which size will fit. I've got even up to these big guys if I need those. And I have my, where's the crimper tool? Oh, no, that's not it. I have let me go get that. It's still out here. Here it is. So I have my hydraulic crimper. And it has all the different size fittings. So I'll get to use that. Haven't used it for a while. So when I get these done, I'll let you know. I already cut the positive cable. So now cut the negative one here. I like these cutters. Okay, so the 2 cables here, I went through my collection of crimp ends or terminal ends, and this is the perfect size, but I only have 2 of these. I've got some larger ones, which will still work. So I'm going to put these on one end of each cable, which will go to the inverter side, and then the other end will get the bigger connectors, which will go to the 3000 watt inverter, which actually feeds the 2000 watt inverter. So let me get the crimper going here. So slide these in. That through. hang on. It's not, well, it's crimping it, but it's not, it's just barely coming down on it. I might have to come down one size. Let me come down a size on the tool here. Let me come down to 3 gauge. Let's see if this one tightens it down anymore. I think that's as snug as I'm going to get that. Let's see how tight that is. Okay, so that one will work. So now I just have to make the ground cable. Oh, we got a bus coming through. Which one is this? I have no idea. I don't know the buses. This Leyland's. It might. Yeah. It looks similar to Conrad's. Looks like a newer version of his. So probably Leyland. I think that'll do it. Yeah, that'll be fine. I have the cables all taped up, even color-coded electrical tape. I'm going to disconnect the power to these terminals, so that's cut off. But I still have input from my new set of solar panels going to those terminals, so I'm going to shut that off. That is this switch here. So that is now off. So there's no power coming into those. And actually, let me go get my voltmeter, verify that. Right, so I should have no power. I got 2.5 volts. Not quite sure where that's coming from. It's certainly not 12 volts. So, I mean, I will still treat it as live when I'm working on it, so I will be careful with it. So that's the solar panel. That's the old inverter wire. Okay. There's the positive one. This one. And this is where I noticed it. The electrical tape just melted on this. Fortunately, I started cooking and I just had to come back here to get something, and I noticed the smoke. So that was not expected. I'm kind of glad this wiring was exposed, because if it was buried under stuff, probably would not have noticed until it was too late. So that's a good tip for you guys that have inverters and cables and everything buried places, it might be a good thing to do to check them once in a while when they're running. So initially the ground wire was underneath here. I'm going to try to run it above just to keep fewer wires underneath.
How's it going, Dave?
Pretty good. I got the I'm installing the new cables now.
Good.
So this was the that's the one that got kind of roasty.
Oh wow, that looks nice and toasted well.
Yeah. Just melted the electrical tape.
Yeah. Can't see I'd be a fan of using that.
So, if I come back behind here, might be even better. Yeah, that's a better shot. Hello, Conrad.
Hello, Darren. I thought I could see you wearing some glasses. Put your glasses on.
Now let's turn everything back on, make sure it works. That's the main feed back to the battery, and then I'll turn the solar panels back on. There we go. Pulling in 14 volts. Oh no, that's what the battery's at. Battery's at 14.4. How are we doing? Charging 14.4. It'll come back to its normal state. Okay, but the flashing blue light means it's working. I put the blue tape over it because at night those lights are actually very bright in here in the bedroom. Okay, so that upgrade is done, and that's a good one. Much safer. I'll test the inverter later, but that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, back to what am I doing next? Oh yeah, I have to drill the hole or make the hole in the wood block for the water tank gauge. So I'll go ahead and start doing that.